Hey guys, say something if you like. Hi, is this Priyash again? Is it Pankaj or is it Priyash? Hi Pankaj, how you doing? Are you from Bangalore? Where are you from? Okay, how is everything there? With the COVID situation, everything. How is everything there? Are you safe? Thank you so much. Yeah. Hi Desmond. So are you working? Are you going to office? What is it? Are you stuck at home? You're working from home? Okay. All right. Good to know. You're safe and sound. Are you learning? You're learning guitar. You're learning keyboard, right? Okay. Are you having fun? Which module have you reached? Which song are you learning? Okay. Any doubts? Have you got any doubts? Any questions that you want to ask? Please shoot. Okay. So I'm learning, but could you please tell me how should I improve more, and how can I do something by my own? I refer some YouTube videos as well. Okay. So uh, just to ask you a quick question, have you figured out all the chords in level one, like C, G, D minor, D, A? Have you figured all those chords out? Okay, so if you know these chords, basically, can if you go to the PDF's last page, you will see a lot of songs there. What you can try to do is try to attempt that song. Now, how you can attempt that song is one of the most important tasks, or um, what do we say? One of the most important thing for you to develop is your ear, right? So in the future lessons, the level two, which is going to come, is going to be all about your own creativity, how to figure out songs by yourself just by listening to it. So what you can do is start now. So as soon as you hear the song, can you play that on the guitar? Right? For example, if I hear, I mean, the Pirates of the Caribbean, right? Can I play that on the guitar? So if you can produce that melody on the guitar, it's going to be very easy for you to start playing any song that you hear at a later stage. Okay, so that is something that you can start doing. Start playing the melodies, right? So like that, figure out melodies of different songs. Now, once you get that going for yourself, you said you want to learn this new strumming pattern as well. So the way strumming patterns work is, for every song there might be some similar strumming pattern, but there might be some unique strumming pattern as well. So what you can try to do is you can try to actually play a drum beat along with that song. Like take the table and just play. Now, if you can play this drum beat with any of the songs that you want to learn, to change it to a strumming pattern, all you need to do is just go for it. So your drum beat was, and now you get that same strumming pattern. Just bear in mind when you play with your left hand, the left hand is basically your upstroke. So that's what you can work on. Listen to a song and try to play the melody of it. If you're struggling with some strumming pattern, you can try to play it on your lap, on your table, and once you get a hang of the rhythm, you can try to replicate it on your guitar. I hope I've answered your question. Okay, so I'll quickly start with a very important question that a lot of students ask me. That is, as a beginner, what is a good guitar to invest in, acoustic or electric, any model numbers? So the first thing that I tell all my students is to get an acoustic guitar rather than investing on electric guitar. If you have an electric guitar, you can start with it. That's not a problem at all. But if you don't have one and you're planning to invest in one, get an acoustic guitar. Why? Because acoustic guitar is pretty handy, pretty portable. You don't need an amp, you don't need cables to take it around. So you can just get an acoustic guitar. You can carry it wherever you want to go. So you can start with an acoustic guitar. Now there are different kinds of acoustic guitar. One is what I'm holding right now. So it has got a sound of its own. The other one is basically an acoustic guitar with an electronic out. So you can connect it to an amp, something like this. You can connect it to an amp. So that's an electroacoustic guitar. And then you have electric guitars, which is something like this. It doesn't have a sound of its own, and you need a cable and an amp to play this guitar, right? So for the first guitar, I would suggest you go for acoustic guitar. If you have got a little bit of budget, then go for electroacoustic guitar. Okay. What are the model numbers that you can go for? By the way, if somebody is anti-China, Yamaha has started its own factory in India, so they're going pretty cheap right now. So you get F280 by Yamaha, F310. Then you have got a model which is FS80C. Now, what is the difference between F280, 310 versus FS80C? 220, 280, and 310 are big box guitars, so there is no cutaway here, right? I personally love a cutaway guitar because I can reach to more frets. That's your personal preference. If you like the sound of a full body guitar, then go for F280, 310, or go for a cutaway guitar, which is FS80, 80C, right? These are all under 10,000 bucks, so it's pretty reasonable. Now, if you want to go below that with brands like Havana or I don't know, there are a lot of brands, but I generally won't recommend because these are not very durable guitar. And if you're starting to learn, hopefully you're going to go pretty long way. And these guitars, which are not of that good quality, are going to retire pretty fast, right? It will not sound good. One thing, it will have a bend on the neck, which is not fixable. You're going to have a lot of problems and you will have to upgrade. So rather than going for a guitar which is like 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 bucks, you can actually invest for something which is like 7,000, 8,000 rupees, which is much more durable. So that would be my advice. There is a little bit more. There's one more brand which is Fender, which is really, really good. You can the model which you can go for is SA150C. But I honestly think for a beginner guitar, Yamaha does a pretty good job, really good sound, goes a very long way. I'm playing a Fender, I don't know the model number, let me quickly see, it's CD280 SE. It's pretty costly, so if you have a budget, please go for it. I mean, it's an amazing guitar, it's got a solid top, it sounds brilliant. Yeah, so that's a guitar I would like you to go for. Okay. So one more question that I got is, what is the main difference between acoustic, semi-acoustic, electric guitar? I just told you. The main difference is acoustic and semi-acoustic has got a sound of its own. It's great to take along with your friends, party, tours, picnics. Electric guitar needs to have an amp and a cable, which is something that you don't require at an early stage. And honestly, till you play those kind of songs which has got, those kind of parts which can only be played by electric guitar, you really don't need to, invest on electric guitar. All right, so that's the difference between acoustic, semi-acoustic, and electric guitar. All right, shoot me any questions. The next question I've got is, how can you make your acoustic strings last longer? I mean, okay. So if you want to get your strings last longer, one thing is always clean it after you play, right? Because the sweat or any kind of humidity on your fingers is going to. So basically, why does a string, deteriorate or doesn't last for a very long time? Because it rusts, right? Once it rusts, the quality of the string goes down and it breaks. It has a tendency to break. So if you keep on cleaning it after your practice, there's a chance that it will last longer. Second thing is you can invest in something called a string conditioner, which makes sure that your strings will last longer. You can pack it if you live in a place which has got a lot of humidity. You can pack it and keep it inside. But my problem with packing guitar is if you don't see the guitar, you don't practice it. I think that's pretty standard with anything. So if it's open and if you're practicing, that's good for you, right? Isn't it better for you to play rather than replace your strings? So these are my pointers. If packing it and keeping it inside is not going to make you practice, then it's not worth. Just buy some new strings every single time it goes for a toss. It doesn't cost too much, just like 200 bucks and all, and it will give you a good practice on how to replace the strings. Silver lining, huh? Okay. How to strengthen your pinky finger? Okay. So unless and until you start eating with your pinky finger or you start writing with your pinky finger, it's not going to get strengthened if you don't do these exercises. All right. So this is a part of one of my lessons on Music Pandit. So you can avail that if you really want to learn all these exercises. But one of the pretty simple, cool trick is just engage it more and more. Use your first finger and fourth finger together. So like this. You can start from the top or bottom, doesn't matter. And go back up. Now you can do the same thing with your second and fourth. And the third one is your third finger and fourth finger. I mean, one of the biggest problems that I see is once you start feeling that your pinky is not strong enough, you try to avoid it. And that is the worst thing that you can do to your quest of strengthening your finger. So make sure that you use it more and more often so that it gets strengthened out. Right? All these exercises that are on Music Pandit, my course on Music Pandit. Okay, Ritesh. Hi, Ritesh. How to buy guitar? Now this has to be a little bit of a specific question. Are you asking me should you go to a physical center or can you buy it from online? Or what do you need to check before buying a guitar? I'll answer you both ways. So the first thing you need to understand is how big of a guitar do you really want? If you are small, like if you're just beginning, you are 10 year, 11 years old, then you might need a smaller guitar with a smaller body. This is a full size guitar. So go for something a bit smaller. The length of the fretboard should be 39C. Okay, I don't understand what is this yes sir for. But anyways, I'm going to answer both ways. Once you're adult, you can actually go for a full-size guitar. Full-size guitar is called as dreadnought guitar. It has got this cutaway is not there. Then you get a full-size guitar with cutaway. You can go for that. I would recommend that you go for a full-size guitar if you can hold it. Second thing is, do you want to go to a physical center or want to go to online? So you would want to go to physical center to check if you are comfortable with the guitar, if it's not too big for you, if the sound of the guitar is interesting. Every guitar has got a different sound. This is what I'm playing is a little bit of mid sounding guitar. It has got a lot of mids. It is not on high pitch. It is not biased towards bass. So you want to check out the sound of the guitar before you buy it because it's going to last with you very long. Now, the other way to do this is if you can't go to a physical center, you can check out some reviews online, or these guitars that I mentioned in this video before. Check out all those guitars sound online. They might give you a better sounding comparison than you will be able to do it by yourself in a store. So check out those sounds and whatever you're leaning towards, just go for that. Get a full-size guitar. There are other guitars like folk guitar that's very small. Traveling guitars are there. Don't go for any of those things. If you're going to sit at home and practice it, then go for a full-size guitar. Yeah. Did that give answer to your question? You're facing problems with strumming. All right, so can you just give me a little bit of detail of what problem? Is it with your right hand or is it with your left hand shifting? What problem are you talking about exactly? Upstrum, okay. You should not have. I mean, you're not getting on time. Is that what this thing is? Is there a problem with the timing? Okay, you started 1 month back and you're having problem with the upstrum. So I'll give you an answer. You tell me if that I spent a lot of time in strumming exercise, but still can't get it right. Okay. Again, the problem is with your right hand. If I'm understanding it correctly, you have problem with your right hand, correct? Okay. So I'll tell you some quick things that I can try to fix it. One thing that I think is happening is you're using your elbow to play like this. Okay, that is something that you need to stop. You need to use your wrist. Okay, so something like it should not be like, because if you do that, it's very hard to reach on time, especially with faster rhythms. So you got to use your wrist for faster strumming pattern. That's one of the things. Second thing is you need to also understand where all you need to do a up strum, right? So for example, if the strumming is 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and so I know exactly on all the ands I need to do an up strum. So 1, 2, and 4, and 1, 2, and 4, and 1, 2, and 4, and right. So make sure that you understand the rhythm and you know the spacing where you need to do an up strum. If you do that, then I think it should fall into place. The other thing is you need to do a flick, right? Don't try to do like this. Try to do a flick up. So if you do the flick, I mean, I'm guessing that's your problem, and this is my remedy for it. So let me know, how does it go? Is that something that you were looking the answers for, or have I not spoken about your problem at all? All right. Best of luck. Okay. So the next question that I've got is, how can I play fast on the guitar? Now, this question, my fingers are not able to keep up. The answer is pretty cliche that you got to practice. Okay. But the honest truth is you need to also keep on analyzing your technique. What is the real problem with your fast playing? What are you missing? Are you not able to align your right hand to the left hand? Are they not in sync? What is the real underlying issue? You have to do an analysis by yourself. Uh, but one tip that you can get from me is start always at a very slow tempo. Take, for example, if you are at 100 BPM, you want to achieve 100 BPM, and if you're not able to reach there, you will start at 80 BPM. Keep on playing, keep on practicing so that you get your muscle memory right. Your fingers learn the shape that you're trying to play. And once you are able to play at 80 BPM, you go to 85 BPM, go to 80, 90 BPM, 95 BPM, 100 BPM. But this is where the problem is. Once you reach 100 BPM, you think you have got that, speed, but you might not have got that speed. You might have just barely scraped or touched 100 BPM. So to be able to play on 100 BPM properly, what you need to do is you need to practice at 110 BPM or practice at 115 BPM. Once you can touch that speed, then you will be able to play very comfortably at 100 BPM. All right. So whatever you want to achieve, like 100 BPM is your target tempo, make sure that you're practicing at least 10 BPM more than that. So when you play on 100 BPM, it sounds like you're playing it without any effort. All right. So practice like that. I'm sure you'll be able to get it right. Okay. A lot of questions. Okay. So somebody has a problem with when they play E chord. their palm is touching. The question is the palm touches the fretboard. If it touches the fretboard, it's fine. What you need to be careful about is not touch any of the strings here. So what do you need to do? Most probably you'll be playing E like this with your thumb hanging around from the top, right? So you need to bring it down. So once you bring that down, your entire palm will go down. And once it goes down, you're not suffering with that issue anymore, right? So keep your thumb down while playing E chord. All right. How long will it take to play guitar? Oh my God. Yeah. So I claim with my course on Music Pandit that you will take 12 weeks to play at least 50 to 100 songs. That is what I'm claiming. But that is, of course, a good scenario. You know, people practicing every single day. They are listening to songs. So that is the best case scenario. Of course, you can do it in 12 days because the course is very efficient, very fast paced, focuses a lot on rhythm so that you can get a hold of the chords and you can get hold of the songs. But that's not a promise. Like, that is if you promise me you're going to do all those things. If you want to play guitar and you want to play it faster, you need to do all those things. But there are cases wherein somebody is able to do a course in 12 weeks. They're able to play songs in 12 weeks, and some people take 6 months to play. So that is completely up to you how much time you're going to give to that course or to your playing. All right, you got to be honest with yourself. You can't be in denial. There is no magic here. There are, of course, efficient ways that can teach you better, and I believe my course is one of them. But people have their own speeds, and you don't need to feel sad if you're not able to play songs in 12 weeks. I mean, everybody has their own speed. What matters is you're progressing every single day. And if you're not, please make sure that you use Music Pandit's platform to the maximum capability. Send us videos so that we can tell you what you need to work on, where your flaws are, so that we can help you in achieving those things. There is a forum that you can use. You can post your problems there so that other students can also reply to you and tell you what you need to work, how you need to work, and what can help you the most. Right, so I hope that gives you an answer. Okay, how long? No, sorry. Is plucking style difficult? I mean, when you started playing guitar, even guitar playing was difficult, right? So likewise, any new thing is going to be difficult. It's not difficult, it's just new. So you got to just practice, keep on practicing, and you will get it. I mean, that's as simple as that. My level 2 is, by the way, going to have an introduction to plucking, and I'm going to give you a couple of patterns that will teach you how to pluck efficiently and how you can apply those techniques to any song that is. Okay. Is it easy to memorize all the notes of each fret? Not really. And one of the main reason why is it not? So most probably when you play guitar, you will be able to memorize the 6th string, the 5th string, and the 1st string. To some extent, the 2nd string also. There's a reason behind that also. The reason is because you are playing the chords which utilizes, or you're playing the chords which are named after those notes which you're playing. So for example, if you play G chord, you're holding the G note. So you automatically are memorizing these notes every single day, right? So the short answer is, once you start using different shapes, then you will start memorizing all the strings. So for example, the primary shapes that we use on guitar is, one is this shape, second is this shape, third is this shape, fourth is this shape, right? So because you use this, you know the names of these strings. That is the 1st string, 5th string, and the 6th string. But if you start using these chords more often, remembering the notes on the 2nd string also. Similarly, if you start using these chords more, you will start remembering those the name of the frets on the 4th string also. So it basically all depends on what chords are you using every single day. Once you start using all those chords, you will start remembering all the note names. Otherwise, there's a navigation thing. For example, there's a G note, and if you know one G note, this is a G note, there's a G note, there's a G note. Like you can navigate the entire fretboard, and you can find whatever note you want to find with a navigation. Okay. Um, how to choose the correct guitar pick or plectrum? Yeah, that's a very interesting question. So there are two kinds of playing that you will be doing mostly, except plucking. So one is you'll be playing melody, which is like this. So when you play a melody, when you pick the notes, it's better to use something. You can use a pick which is thicker. So what I'm using is almost 1 mm, right? So that's what I like to use when I play solos. When I play any picking pattern, I use around 1 mm of thickness. But when I'm playing strumming pattern, I like my pick to bend a bit. Okay, so that gives me a very cool sound when I'm playing that fast thing, and it prevents from the strings from breaking. So for that, I use 0.50 mm. But here's the thing: you got to try. These are the things that I use. I'm comfortable with this. I've analyzed everything that I'm doing, and I prefer these. What you need to do is you need to find the picks that will work for you. If you're finding it difficult to play with 1 mm, what is the thickness that you should go for? That can be your starting point, and then you basically familiarize yourself with different kind of thickness for your playing purposes. Okay, so that's my take on which picks you should use. Some quick and easy song for you to start with. You can start with Pani Da, um, Adat, Country Roads, Radioactive, Give Me Some Sunshine, Every Rose Has Its Thorns. There is a list of 100 songs in my level 1, and I'm teaching around 15 songs in that. So do check that out if you need more references. Anyway, um, how can I develop my ear training for chords so that I can play any song of my choice? The quickest thing that you need to have is, I mean, the immediate thing that you need to start is start playing melody of any song. So whatever song that you hear, try to play the melody of it. Once you start playing the melody of it, your ear will start developing. Ear training for chords is it's not a real term. Basically, it means that you can understand between a major and minor chord, or the seventh chord, or dominant seven, or suspended chords, those kind of things, right? So ear training basically means can you replicate whatever you hear um, with your ear. So not with any notation, not with any help, just hear it and start playing it. So develop that. What can you do to develop it? You can just try. Listen to a song and try playing that on the guitar. Once you figure out what the melody is, for example, this. Ultimately, you want to play the chord for it as well. So second thing you need to analyze is where the chord changes should happen. So in this case, that's the point where the chord change should happen. Da-da, da. So what chord you should put? If you are able to figure out the melody, you'll be able to figure out the scale of it. Once you figure out the scale of it, you will know with this note, that's a D note, right? And we're in the key of D minor. So if you are playing the D note, let's try to play D minor along with that. So da 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 da. So that's how you develop the chords. Then next chord will come here. There. So maybe as an F note, so we can play F chord. Doesn't suit that well, so can we go for B flat? We can go for it. So like that. So you figure out the melody, you relate it with the scale. Once you're related with the scale, you will know which chord family you can use. Once you know that, start applying. It's that simple. Yeah, but everything starts from the melody. Try to replicate the melody that you hear. All right, so with that, I think I've covered all the pointers. If anybody here wants to ask me any questions, I can wait. Otherwise, I'm going to go. All right, so I hope you got all the answers that you're looking for. Keep playing, keep practicing. This is your Guitar Pandit signing off. Take care.